The Mana series. Wait, do you say mana or mana? I say manana, you say manana. Moving on, the Mana series, a long-running video game series that revolves around the world mana tree, a sacred sword, 8 elemental spirits, and defeating Jewish rabbits. I mean, what else would a rabbite be? Hey everyone, how's it going? Total Level here with another My Top 5, and with the release of the new Visions of Mana, I thought I would celebrate by talking about my top 5 favorite Mana video games. Originally a spin-off of Final Fantasy before becoming its own series, known as Seiken Densetsu in Japan. I am sure I butchered that pronunciation, I apologize. The Mana series has never had the deepest storytelling or gameplay surrounding it, but it has always had lots of heart and just that perfect comfort video game to easily pick up and play. With most games having an action combat style, the Mana games are a wonderful way for people to get into the action RPG genre with its easy to learn mechanics. Now, as always, my top 5 here will be Mana games that I have beaten at least once, so some of your personal favorites like Legend of Mana will not be on here as I have not played it yet. With that all out the way, let us check out my top 5 Mana video games, and it is time to dive right in. At number 5 I have Heroes of Mana. Released in 2007 on the Nintendo DS, this unique take on the Mana series sees the game become a real-time strategy game rather than an action one. Heroes of Mana sees you playing Roget, a young soldier who defends several nations from the forces of his own nation. You will send out units, rabbites, to gather resources, build up your troops using classic Mana enemies to fight by your side. Now, this game is at number 5 for me because, for one, I am not the biggest RTS fan, and also the AI can be frustrating at times to control. They do not take certain paths that you want them to take, so it is a bit of multitasking you have to do. However, I still had a fun time with this, as it always surprises me that more real-time strategy games never ended up on the DS. The system would have been perfect for so many, as while Heroes of Mana has a bit of a learning curve to it, I enjoyed it. I know it will not be everyone's favorite though. At number 4 I have Children of Mana. Released in 2006 on the Nintendo DS, Children of Mana is an action RPG in the style of a hack-and-slash dungeon crawler. Children of Mana follows 4 heroes as they fight invading monsters and learn about what happened with their families during a cataclysm event. Like many games in the series, you will also play the game in multiplayer. To start the game, you pick one of 4 heroes that you want to play as, along with an elemental spirit to help you on the way. You also acquire these gems either in town or through the dungeons to power up your character further, and will take on quests along the way. Now, I am a sucker for these types of games. I enjoy hack and slash games, whether they have complicated systems or very simple ones. They are just a joy to play. And so, it is no wonder why I enjoyed Children of Mana. There is not any open world to explore, rather it is more like stages to go through a certain dungeon and clear it, which, as simple as that may be, I enjoy games like that. Combat is a bit clunky though, and the game is very repetitive, but I am okay with that for a handheld experience like this. I can play for a few minutes or a couple of hours. This is a solid pick up and play type of game for me. At number 3 I have Sword of Mana. The first of 3 remakes, as one was a mobile game released for Japan only, and the third being Adventures of Mana, releasing on mobile devices and the PlayStation Vita. Sword of Mana is a remake of the original Final Fantasy adventure, or Seiken Densetsu Final Fantasy Gaiden that was released in 2003 on the Game Boy Advance. The story is modified slightly where you get to play as either the hero or heroine of the game, along with extended dialogue and background storyline, as both heroes have tragic backstories revolving the Dark Lord, ruler of Grants, with both heroes' storylines lining up and often partnering up with each other. This was the first Mana game I bought for myself, I believe right before or right as I entered high school. I wanted another handheld JRPG I could play, and I am glad that I bought this one. Amazing sprite work, simple yet solid combat gameplay, and fast-paced exploration. Sword of Mana is still fun to play today. The biggest annoyance I found is the AI-controlled companion. They are pretty useless, I found. Still though, I have lots of nostalgia for Sword of Mana, and it is why it is this high on the list. At number 2, I have Secret of Mana. We will not talk about the remake. It was not a terrible game, but it should have been way better. Anyways, released in 1993 on the Super Nintendo, Secret of Mana follows 3 heroes as they attempt to prevent the Empire from conquering the world with the power of an ancient flying fortress. This was the first Mana game I ever played back when I first started to get into JRPGs, and was also the first game I beat in the Mana series. It taught me to be patient and not rush through combat. Probably the first action RPG that I played, and the first co-op JRPG I played. You also had the ring system, which was quite innovative for its time, and the power bar to determine how strong your attack will be. That's why you gotta be patient, wait for that 100%, right? Now, it's not quite number 1 for me because Secret of Mana has aged a bit over the years. There are better action RPGs out there since then, and some combat situations can be tough to get out of. Still though, it is such a fun game for me to revisit and play, trying different weapons out, using magic later on. There is so much to love with Secret of Mana. And at number 1 is the Trials of Mana remake. I am sure once I get to play through Visions of Mana, that will be number 1 for me, but for now it is Trials. Released in 2020 on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Windows PC. Along with a mobile port the following year, Trials of Mana sees you picking and playing as 3 out of 6 heroes, each with their own backstories, as they team up to defeat the Beneficons and save the Mana Tree. There is also a huge world for you to explore, split up into smaller sections as you fight your way through enemies to reach your next destination. Each character has unique skills and weapons, along with a class system for those characters, creating lots of replay value. Now, yes, Trials of Mana has some, let us just say, questionable voice acting. Still though, it is a ton of fun to play. This remake is bright and colorful to look at, with fun combat and many different types of locations for you to explore. Trials of Mana is such a fun experience. I did not think I would have this much fun, but it turned out to just be a comforting, joyful experience. Again, like all Mana games, Trials does not have the deepest story to tell, or super memorable bosses, but it is just great comfort. Many different difficulty options and taking the game at your own pace. There is a lot to come back to with Trials of Mana. And there you go, that's my top 5 Mana video games. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what you think. Do you agree or disagree with my list? Which Mana game is your personal favorite? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you next time. Thanks everyone, and have a great rest of your day. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to like, leave a comment, and subscribe to see more. Hit the notification bell to be notified of any upcoming videos. Also, follow me on Twitter at TotalLevelYT, along with Twitch, also at TotalLevelYT. Or maybe you only stayed for any skits I put in my video. In that case, please stay anyways. I'm so lonely. Alright, take care and have a great rest of your day, everyone.